The crisp night air clawed at my skin as I trudged along the dimly lit streets. The clock on my phone blinked 12:03 a.m., signaling the eerie silence that had settled over the city. Exhausted from a long day at work, I quickened my pace, the only sound my own hurried footsteps echoing through the desolate alleyways. The streetlights flickered, casting elongated shadows that danced menacingly along the pavement. I could feel the weight of the darkness pressing in on me, each step bringing me closer to the solitude of my apartment. My breath formed misty clouds in the frigid air as I navigated through the labyrinthine maze of the urban landscape. Suddenly, a chill crawled down my spine, and an inexplicable sense of unease settled in the pit of my stomach. I shook off the feeling, attributing it to fatigue and the late hour. As I turned the corner onto my street, the familiar silhouette of my apartment building came into view, a comforting sight in the desolation. As I approached the entrance, a peculiar figure caught my eye. A shadowy figure stood at the end of the dimly lit corridor, shrouded in darkness. My heart quickened its pace, and I squinted to get a clearer view. The figure seemed almost translucent, like a wisp of smoke in human form. My rational mind dismissed it as a trick of the tired eyes, but a gnawing uncertainty lingered. Against my better judgment, I continued toward the entrance. The figure remained motionless, its features obscured by the shadows. A faint whisper slithered through the air, a chilling melody that sent shivers down my spine. I strained to make out the words, but they were muffled, as if carried by a spectral wind. With each step, the figure seemed to beckon me closer, an ethereal dance drawing me into its clutches. I hesitated, my instincts screaming at me to turn back, but an inexplicable curiosity propelled me forward. The whispers grew louder, words now discernible in an ancient, haunting language that stirred an unsettling familiarity. As I approached, the figure slowly revealed itself. A woman, draped in a tattered, ghostly gown that billowed in an unseen breeze. Her eyes, pools of darkness, locked onto mine. I could feel her gaze piercing through the fabric of my soul, unraveling the threads of reason that held me together. "Come," she whispered, her voice a haunting melody that echoed through the corridor. The air grew colder, and my breath hung in the freezing abyss. The woman extended a spectral hand, fingers reaching out like tendrils of mist. I stood at the precipice of reason, torn between the safety of retreat and the magnetic pull of the unknown. A surge of courage propelled me to take her hand, the icy touch sending a shockwave through my being. The world around me blurred, reality bending and contorting, as if I had stepped into another realm. The whispers crescendoed into a cacophony of spectral voices, their words weaving a tapestry of forgotten memories and lost souls. I found myself standing in a desolate landscape, a realm caught between the living and the dead. Shadows danced around us, their forms twisting and writhing in an otherworldly ballet. The woman, now a radiant specter, gestured towards a looming structure in the distance, a decaying mansion bathed in an eerie glow. As we approached, the mansion whispered tales of long-forgotten tragedies and unfulfilled destinies. The air resonated with the sorrowful laments of the departed, a symphony of souls bound to the ethereal plane. The woman guided me through the dilapidated halls, each step echoing with the weight of history. In a dimly lit room, she turned to me, her eyes filled with an ancient sadness. "You carry the burdens of the living," she whispered, her voice a mournful dirge. "Release them, and you shall find solace in the embrace of the forgotten." With those cryptic words, she faded into the shadows, leaving me alone in the haunted mansion. The air hung heavy with the echoes of the past, and I felt the weight of my own existence unraveling. As I confronted the ghosts of my own making, I realized that sometimes the line between the living and the dead is thinner than we dare to imagine.